Hey everyone, welcome back. It is just about 7:15 on this Saturday morning, and Clay, still dark outside, but definitely a little bit of a bite in the ear today.
Yeah, that's right. It's certainly chilly this morning. We've had a relatively mild start to December, so we've kind of gotten used to that. But it is a little cool out there this morning. So if you're heading out on this Saturday, it's 27 in Murphy. That's the cool spot. 35 in Blue Ridge, 34 in Dayton, 41 here in Chattanooga. So a little bit warmer, but outside of the city, it's generally in the 30s. So grab that jacket or sweatshirt before heading out. And as we take a look at your planner, it's going to warm up pretty nicely. We'll be in the lower to maybe even mid 40s by lunchtime, and then 47 later on this afternoon. But notice plenty of sunshine, something we haven't had a ton of all December. So of course, enjoy Saturday, enjoy Sunday, because they're going to be basically identical. But then things are going to get interesting as we move into next week and then into Christmas weekend. So we'll get to that in a second, but let's take a look at your futurecast step by step. Our first system, first of two systems, comes in Monday into Tuesday. Now, this looks like it's going to primarily stay to our south. We're going to be dealing with moisture-starved system, so to speak. Most of the rain going to be to our south. But like I said, there is going to be the potential for at least a little bit of shower activity throughout the day, Monday into Tuesday. And Monday night, it may be cold enough for a flurry or two across North Alabama, maybe even North Georgia. Not going to be impactful. In fact, I think most of us are going to stay dry, but it is something we're going to watch, because if that moisture bumps a little further to the north, things could be a little more interesting, especially Monday night. But then this kind of moves out, and Wednesday is going to be the breaker between the two systems. And then that's when things really start to get interesting as we move into your Thursday. So we're going to have this very cold air mass working its way south, and we're going to have a low pressure develop, and that's going to pull in some moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. A lot of uncertainty with the system because the models have kind of been all over the place, but we're starting to get at least a better idea. So it looks like we're going to have one of those scenarios where the cold air is going to be chasing the moisture. Typically with that, we don't see too much snow here, especially in our valley locations. You'll have the better chance along the Cumberland Plateau and into Tennessee and North Carolina mountains, typically elevations above 4,000 feet. But with that being said, there is going to be the chance for at least a brief transition over to some wintry weather as we go into late Thursday into early Friday morning. You can kind of see that on our forecast model here. But like I mentioned earlier, this is going to be one of those scenarios that isn't all that favorable for widespread wintry weather, at least accumulating wintry weather here across the Tennessee Valley. But there is definitely going to be the potential for at least a few snowflakes flying around. And then Friday, that's when that cold air is really going to work into the Tennessee Valley. So here's what we know regarding that Thursday into early Friday system. The precipitation widespread is going to begin as rain, even in the higher elevations. And then we're going to be tracking out that transition to wintry weather Thursday night. And one thing is for certain, bitterly cold air is going to follow. So here's some things that we're kind of still working out. How much warm air is pulled north? So as this low pressure forms, it's going to pull in that warm air. If it's too warm, of course, we're not going to be dealing with too much in the way of wintry weather. Track of the low pressure is always very important. A further south track, that'll bring in more cold air. Maybe we'll have a little bit more chance of, widespread wintry weather. And then the transition timing. Does it happen at all in the valley? Because sometimes the cold air arrives after the moisture is moved off to the east, and that means no wintry weather. So that's going to be something that we're going to be tracking as well. And as far as specific impacts, accumulation, still way too early because this is about 5-6 days out. So we'll get a better idea in the coming days, but the temperature outlook, it is just going to be downright cold as we move into the end of next week into your Christmas weekend. So here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Again, kind of shocking to see a high of 26 on Friday, but that's about where we're going to be. In fact, Thursday night, we're going to fall into the teens. Our coldest night in quite some time, and of course we're going to track that transition over from rain to wintry mix late Thursday night. We'll get a much better idea moving forward, so continue to check back for updates, Angela.
Yeah, definitely some cold weather coming our way. Get your jackets ready, get your little boots for your pets ready, get everything ready because that 12-degree low is coming sooner than you think. And as you're getting